So today we have MCU Iron-Man versus Optimus Prime from the movies. Who wins? Let's find out. So as always, strength. Well, Tony in his Mark 85 armor really staggered Cull Obsidian with a punch. Fought well against Thanos, knocking him over and even causing him to bleed. Keep in mind, Hulk didn't even do that, which might suggest that Iron Man in this suit is stronger than the Hulk, although that could be very debatable. He also pushed this building sized contraption thing onto Thanos, but Titan's gravity was way weaker than Earth's at that time. He was also able to fight against a weaker Thor while in one of his older, less powerful armors, even throwing Thor several meters. But with Optimus, a lot of his strength comes from his size. He stands 28 feet tall and weighs 4.3 tons, making him one of the biggest Transformers and Autobots we've ever seen in the movies. He ripped Bone Crusher's head off, broke Megatron's leg, easily uproots a tree, overpowered Starscream, lifting him in the air and breaking his jaw, and ripping his arm off. He overpowered the Fallen and punched through his chest, and even knocked Grimlock to his knee with a punch. And this Transformer stood nearly 80 feet tall. He also easily lifted Bumblebee and slammed him to the ground with just one arm repeatedly, over and over, and looked as if he had no problem doing it, no struggling at all. It's hard to say who's stronger. On one hand, Tony has never fought against anything as big as Optimus Prime. But at the same time, Optimus has never fought against anyone as powerful as Thanos. I'd say Optimus is stronger, just because of his size. I think he can do a lot of the same things Tony did. What about durability? Well, Tony himself survived a piece of metal being lunged into or near his heart. He also survived being stabbed in the stomach. He got right back up after being sent flying several blocks and through a building by Cull Obsidian. He withstood a beating from Thanos, a similar beating that knocked out the Hawk, I might add. He also withstood hits from Loki, Ultron, Thor, and others in his older suits. But Optimus has withstood hits from Megatron, B, Bone Crusher, and several other Transformers. He easily kept on fighting after being sent flying through buildings, missiles, blaster fire, and even bombs. He withstood being stabbed by Lockdown's sword. He survived crash landing on Cybertron and Earth and was unfazed by Earth's atmosphere. It's kind of like strength here. I'd say Optimus is better just because of his size and his Cybertronian physiology. But with speed, and yeah, Iron Man is definitely faster. Like Optimus has outrun helicopters on his seat, dodge blaster fire, can turn into a semi truck in a second's notice, and he has great mobility and agility while in combat. But Iron Man can fly with boosters in his hands and feet. He easily caught up to a spaceship leaving Earth, dodged several chunks of Titan's moon that was thrown at him by Thanos, and he even easily caught up to a nuclear missile. He's not just very fast, but he's also very and highly maneuverable while flying. But Optimus is physically better, being bigger, stronger, and tougher. Optimus is also a highly experienced and master combatant, being a highly skilled hand-to-hand fighter, swordsman, and marksman. He's bested every Autobot and Decepticon he's ever faced. Starscream, Megatron, Sentinel Prime, Bone Crusher, Grinder, Bees Battle Mode, The Fallen, Grimlock, and Lockdown. He's beaten them all. Now, Tony is a decently skilled fighter in his own right, but most of his skill comes in using his nano armor. His fight with Thanos on Titan is an excellent example of this, just swiftly switching from weapon to great effect, putting up a great fight with Thanos. His idea in doing this is to simply overwhelm his opponents. Also in Civil War, he was able to use his AI to analyze Captain America's fighting style to accurately predict Steve's move and counter it. So I guess he could potentially do that here with Optimus as well. But anyways, let's move on to gear and versatility. Optimus has had several guns throughout the movies, all of which have sent Decepticons flying, one-shotted weaker Decepticons, and even blew holes in them. And with the help of Ironhide, was actually able to kill the Demolisher, which was a massive Decepticon. And then there's his sword, which is very strong and very, very durable, virtually unbreakable. It's easily just cut off Transformers' limbs and pierced right through their chests, like a hot knife through butter. But Tony is definitely the more versatile one here, all thanks to his nano suit. His versatility is virtually endless. It allows him to create any weapon he thinks of in a second with just a thought. He's only limited by his imagination. He's created a massive blaster that sent Cole Obsidian flying several meters. He's created a battering rams, energy swords, a shield, wrist blades, and even multiple blasters all around him to shoot multiple laser beams at once. He also has these several little rockets he can fire off the back of his back, and he also has his repulsor blast and his unibeam as well. Then there's is Friday, Tony's advanced AI, who helps him out with strategy, analysis, health, and hacking. So, who wins? Well, it's actually really hard to say. Iron Man is faster and is very maneuverable and will be able to dodge more attacks and land more attacks, and his versatility will be able to hurt Optimus, seeing that he's been injured by similar attacks. Friday might even be able to hack into Optimus, but there's no proof that Transformers can be hacked into. Optimus is much bigger, he's stronger, tougher, better, and more experienced fighter. Actually, Stark's flight and speed might not be that big of a problem for Optimus, because he's also very agile in his own right. It would be a problem, but not like a huge problem. Then you add in the fact that Optimus is a Prime, one of the most powerful Transformers in existence. It's kind of looking like Optimus is too much for Tony here. But then you remember, Tony went toe to toe with Thanos, who is undoubtedly more powerful than Optimus. But although it was a great fight, and he definitely did better than Hulk did, the best you can say Tony did was make Thanos lose one drop of blood. That's it. One drop of blood, and Thanos just smirked it off like it was nothing. That's it. I just think Optimus is just too much here. He's too big, too strong, too experienced, and just too tough for Tony here. Optimus Prime wins. Like and subscribe if you did enjoy. Leave a comment of what you think and hit the notification bell to be notified of all my future videos and all the great stuff. Catch you on the next one. Peace.